last time what we saw is basically like, how to create an input field. I believe all of you gone through all the possible input fields. I gave an example of few. There are a lot, like, I didn't talk about date. I didn't talk about ranges. This all I believe you did that yourself. Okay. If you have any question, end of the class, please ask me. Then we can do that. Okay. Today, what we are going to see here is table. The table is basically like, you might have seen many places that the thing is what happened. Table is a data presented in a kind of a column and row fashion. Okay. For example, like, even you might have seen a resume, it says like, year, then it's a description, content, something like every year basis a row and column. That's what the table makes it. Okay. That is what we are going to see here. Okay. Now what I do here, I go to that let me go to that resume. So that is empty. Okay. Now what I do here is page is getting built. Okay. Now I just build a table here. Okay. Now what happens? Table. Okay. Now, okay. It starts with table. Okay. Now what we hear, then the table basically made of rows and columns. Okay. I'll tell you how it looks like. Row, what they call it TR. This is what the row. Okay. Then they call it column, say TD. That's what they call it, TD. Okay. I'm telling here, basically, I say that, like, what happened in, like, say 2020, something happened. Then I say here, okay, what is the even name? Just we can give a name, like say that, okay, say for example, like, I say like my education, I assume that I put my education, something like that, 2020, I did a master, okay. Master. I did a master. You don't ask me this is my year, but it's just an example. Okay. What I did a master, I did a management. Okay. Management. Okay. Just a 3 setup. Now, okay, that's a one row. I create one more row. Okay. TD. It's called like, data. Basically, that's what called, like, table data. TR is table row. That's what it is coming. Okay. TD, I say like, say 208. Okay. Okay. 208. I did a graduation. Okay. Okay. TD. Assume commas. Okay. Assume the commas. Okay. So assume that. Okay. I did a one more table. Okay. Put one more. Okay. Yeah. Okay. TD. Say like, what I did. 208. So 205. Assume. Okay. 2005. I say, okay, TD. TD is what? Say I say HSC. Has underscore. Okay. D. I can say what's HSC. I did in a commas again. Accounting. Okay. I can have one more row, say which college from, which university from. All this I can do that. Okay, I go to resume now. Well, this is how it looks. Okay, it looks very bland. Nothing is there. It's very bland. Okay. Now, how do I make it little bit of like, looks better a little bit, like, basically what it is giving it, this is basically, this is your row. This is the row. This is a column. Basically, the idea of the row is basically set of data. Column is one type of data. This is how it is. Okay. Now, what I do here, little go I here, I put border 1. Okay. Now, you give a little border. Now it looks better. Okay. Now, if I want to have, like, now I have all the data, but it doesn't have a header. How do I put a header? Okay. Now the header, what happened is you are creating a column row with the header data, tr. Then here I say th. Okay, say th says that here th. Okay, I say that like education. I'm giving here th here. I'm giving th here. I'm giving that like major R. Major. See that. Now I have first row I have as a header. So th makes table header. Okay, th. Then every time I have a data, this is how it is. Then even I can say that like here I can say width is 100%, something like that. I can say here, sir. Again, it works here. I don't know. Let me have a look at that. 100%. If it is not working here. Yeah, it is working. The width is 100%. So basically, the width is basically it taking the 100% of the display and divided the column among that. That is also doing here. Okay. Basically, the border and width is the attribute. Now, you understood what is happening here? Okay. Anybody's? Okay. Well, okay. I'll repeat that. Basically, you are drawing, making a table. Okay. Then basically, you are putting a row. Within the row, you are putting a column. Table is called table. Okay. TR is basically the table row. Okay. Within the table row, you are having a column that called data. Okay. TD, TD, TD. So you can have multiple data. Okay. Now, what is happening when you are coming to the header? That is not TD, that is TH. That's it is. Okay. Then the border basically you draw a border. Okay. And the width basically like spread the entire table into that entire page. That's all it is doing here. This is a very symbol of this one. Now we can do a little better over here. Okay, this is a very simple table. By this one, you know what table is. Okay, you can put any kind of like data and everything, you can put that. Okay, basically the thing is every row has to have a, though even if you are not using it, it has to have a proper number of similar columns. You should have it. Okay, there are exceptions. Okay, I'll come to that later. Okay, now everything looks TRTH. Okay, there's a way you can classify it. Okay, now what you can do here is the table also the latest version. Originally, this is what it is. There's no much further the original versions. Then they came back. They said they can classify it as a header separately, like body separately and the footer separately. For example, you can say there's something called T head. Okay, it doesn't do it just a class, like just a grouping, nothing more than that. Okay, doesn't do anything. Just now it says basically the header lies within the header. Now I can say here, just to classify it, make it looks good. T body. Okay. I can classify that. Okay, there's a footer. You can say that like T footer. You can say that T footer, T foot. I think you can have a T foot. You can have something. Put that like what you can do that. Footer is basically you don't have to put a column and everything. I say that education history, something like that, like education. Really. Okay. Okay, it went into top instead of down. Why? I know it should be down there. Okay, let me have a look at that way it is. Okay, for the time we are ignoring, we don't much use it. Okay, this is what it is. Basically, the thing is what happened. We are creating a table. Within that, we are doing a header, T-head, table head. Within that, you are creating a row with all your THs, basically all your that column headers. Then you are creating a body. Then you are creating within the body, you are creating a one or multiple row with the same columns. Okay. Sometime what happened? assume I have one more 2000, like for example, like I'll have one more subject. What do you call it? How do I put that? There is something called column span. Now, what happens sometimes like that one row can go beyond more than one column for some reasons. How do I put that here? What's a good example? I put that column span. I'll just show it. Like I'll create a one more row here. Like TH Institute, something like. Okay, ignore the spelling. Okay, some I say that something like that institute, and I also put some name called description. This okay, spelling so DCRI institute description. Okay, now I put a 2 TD everywhere. Okay, 2D. Control C, Control V. Okay. Okay, that's one more. Come here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to join this that from institute and description. I'm going for only that row I'm going to join it. They call it column span. Column span is basically they say that how many column that basically that it takes. Like if it's a one is taking only one column, one is default. If you have two, basically taking the two columns it takes it. For example, the first one I say that okay, call span equal to 2. So I don't need the second one. If you look at that, see that this is how you manipulate that, column span is 2. Okay, so now I put here that say that institution is what what do I edit? Okay, say that Bekar Law College, something like that. You can say that. Okay, Law College. Spelling Ambedkar, we'll put B Ambedkar Law College, something like that. So basically, my description is basically it is you do that all this in an Excel sheet. That's the same thing you can replicate here. Okay. When I'm coming to the other one, I can have basically 2 row. I can add that. Okay. Okay. Now that here basically I show you how I concatenate. Basically, I added a 2 column. The same way I can do a 2 row. For example, like I said, TR here. Okay, then okay, I put here TR here. Okay, TD. Okay, I say that 2000 to 2000. Okay, 2000 here. Now you see something like school, CHOL school. Say that what SSLC? I put SSLC. SSLC. Subject. I don't have to give any subject. Okay, assume that. Now I'd say that middle school. Assume I also completed a middle school, or I did a 2000. I went to the 2 schools. Now I can have this TR. So I can say row span equal to 2. See that. Now what happens? Okay, now I don't need that 2000 here. So basically I did SLC from two schools. Assume that I did TRSS, TRSS, I did an high school, okay, and EHR. Assume that TRSS threw me out. I went to next class, the next school threw me out, and TRSS. Okay, so basically, what happened? You are basically like merging. It is kind of a merge, right? That here, if you look at that, you merge two columns. Here, you merge two rows. So basically, you are telling there how many span the column, how many calls span, like how many it takes. If you put 3, then basically it takes 3. If you take 4, you take 4. That is how you basically do a merge, column and row merge. Okay. Any question on that? It is a symbol that you can play with that, like multiple TR and everything can do that. So this helps you when you are building, like basically when you are building a resume, you can say like what are the like basically anything you want to put it like education or like skill set or a hobby, something you want to put it in a kind of a tabular format. This helps you out. Okay. And the CSS will come and tell you, like when we are doing CSS, will tell you how do you make it good. Here, basically the border one is just give a border, then we can make it like different kind of a border and like different colors and everything. We can do that in that. Okay, the after table, what I want to see here is basically most of the things you will learn nowadays. We are coming for the kind of end of the HTML classes, so I'm trying to tell you like what are the final things. Okay, now the thing is what happened whenever you develop a page. Okay, you see that. Okay, I go to the google.com. I inspect. Okay, you see normally what you see is a lot of divs. This is what you see. Any page you go there, you see a lot of divs. Okay, div is basically division. Okay, what division does is basically that's a kind of a grouping mechanism. Okay, and the division also basically what it does is inbuilt with that line break BR. Okay, last time, sometime back, I told you there are some element comes with that like line break, some element doesn't comes with the line break. The div is kind of a grouping one that create a section for you, so it comes with the line break. So like whatever you are having a division that comes in a one line, the different division comes in a different line. We'll go back to index, for example. I say that like I want to have it, but it doesn't see you anything big outside. Like it all looks like for example, like I come here, division. Okay, it is basically your okay. Now this is a division. If you look at the outside, for example, you go here, you don't see any different here. Okay, I create a division here. You look at the page, it doesn't create any difference. Like here, it doesn't create any here. Now why do I want that? Why do I want that? Basically, what happened? If I want to give us some kind of color for one group, some kind of color, some kind of a property for one group, and I want, so basically you are putting everything into the division. And if you are going to that, like for example, I say the contact did that. I go to the contact page now. I'll show you that. Explain. Now the name and everything is coming into this one. Am I right? Now what I can do here is see that I can put a one div here. Okay. I don't need to put a PR or anything. That is basically comes under the okay. Now the age comes under down that. Okay. So basically that is also basically they use lot here also. So one way it helps you to kind of put a BR automatically a group automatically into that. So like I put here. So I'm putting here. Then I remove the BR. I don't need a BR. So automatically that is comes line by line comes. Now what happened? If I want to have some kind of a different behavior for that the first one, I can give it. When I do a CSS, I'll tell you how that the different behavior will be given. So this is helps to to differentiate everything into a kind of different lines and everything. Help you division. Okay. When you are learning a division, there is something called span. Okay, span is exactly opposite to the division. Now, what is happening here? when I'm basically like I go back to the index now. Okay, now I want to have this kind of element has only this part has to have a different kind of a features. So like I want italic or something like that, I want to have it. I can use a span. Now what happened is span does not do anything except is grouping without making any difference. Like basically division would do the grouping and create a line break for you. You got it. It's horizontally, it is basically give a line break for you. When you are putting a span, for example, I put here a span, like he also believes in, I put a span here. You don't see any difference. But advantage what it give you here is, okay, now what, okay, now I say span, I can put a span here. So for example, up to knowledge. Okay, assume that I was putting a span here. Now, if you look at that, you don't see any difference. It doesn't create any difference. But when you are doing a like when you are doing a CSS and everything, now I want to make it. This one is a font is bigger or something, like the font weight is bigger or something. I can do that. I can always go here. I can put a style sheet, some kind of information I can give it here. So span is opposite of the division. We just learn it when we do a CSS. I'll give a proper explanation. There's one more thing called navigation. The navigation basically used only in the indexes or the bar we do that. That is also the navigation is for a group, nothing more than that. Okay. That is the one of the things you want to do. Use a lot of division. Basically, as I said, you can here also I can look for that like span. There may be a lot of span might be here. Here also. Okay, span. Okay. I do a span. This way I do that. They use a lot of span in every this one. Now, what is happening here is, okay, no, okay. This one does not appear all the time. Okay, sometimes it appear left side, sometimes it will appear left side according to your setup and all this stuff. And like if you look at now, what happened here? This class, which is a CSS, which controls what is the behavior of this one. Okay, whether you want to have a left side, right side, all this basically, but other than that, there's no, it doesn't give any other line break, nothing it give it. Just give a control according to the CSS you are attaching it. Now, what you see here, for example, this is what it is. Use empty span, they have it. Okay, now I am feeling doodly. Okay, the span basically that this is going to appear if your search is going some nice way or something, that is the only time you give it. So now what happened? The span basically they have some kind of control according to that, some kind of validation. This will appear. This is all you can do with the span. Okay, this will you learn the division and span will be used a lot when you are doing a CSS. I'll help you out. Okay. Okay. Now then there's something called there's a, you can also divide the pages into header, main, division, all this stuff. You can look at that, but we don't use it a lot much with that footer. For example, I can divide the whole page into a like a header. There is something called head, like a header. Okay. Now, for example, like if I go to that, where's my index page? I can have my entire page. I can divide into the 3 part. Okay, now I go to that. Where is that? Body start here. I can have a 3 part. I can say that. Okay, header. Headers, like I can, for example, like when we are really paging it out, I can have all my the top menu comes in the header. Assume that. Okay, I'm putting that here. Header. Then I'm putting it body. Sorry, it's called main. Okay. Then the main page, I can put it under the main page. So I put that under the main page. Okay, something like that. I can put that main page here. Okay. Then I can have my footer. Okay. Footer, my footer. Footer, I can have that basically that whatever information we have, we did that what's it called? Sorry. What am I that? Did that footer? Sorry, I'll remove the footer here. Okay, that okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. I copy. Okay. Now what happened? Like okay, I go to the page. That this part I can put under the footer. Okay, I'm not putting in right places. I can show you that this can come under the footer. All this body can come under the main part. You can. This is all divisions. Like a header main. All divisions. So the division basically help you out to form all the different pages in the same style. For example, all these menu, whatever pages you are going, it comes in a proper order in the header division. It's all kind of grouping it, make the page, all the pages uniformity. That's all it does that. Okay. So I'll do like two more things. Basically, by that the HTML is over. Now I'm going to create a one more page called. I'll do it in a resume itself. I'll do that. Okay. Okay. Table is here. Okay, I'll put everything in this one into a division. Since we started doing a division, okay, I'll put this one into a division. Okay, so I create one more division called a video. I say that. Okay, I can have one more H3. Okay, this is how basically we do that. Okay, H4 video. I'll tell you how the video is displayed. Okay, now I go to the resume. Okay, now I have a video here. Now I'm going to, okay, I'll have one more division basically. Header comes in one division, this is coming here. Okay, now I'm going to do a video. How do I video place that? Okay, now there's something called video. Okay, okay, I'll show you. Okay. Now videos, what? I have to have a source. Already I copied the video. I created a rectangle video. I copied one of the local, one of the, this one I copied the video. I'll just, whichever video file you can attach that. Okay. I'm here. I create a video directory that I put some video which is taken by one of my okay, this one. Okay, when I put a video, it's going really big. Okay, now what I do here, I'll create the size to some pixel, so that will width, I think width I'm giving to 300 pixel. Okay, so the video will be minimized. Okay, I can put like 600 pixel, okay, just for make it. Okay, now the videos that it is not going to play. The video is not playing it. I just attach the play, it's not playing it. The reason is I haven't given any controls to that. Once I set that controls, see that you get the control here. So basically you are putting a video and you are telling where the video is coming from, and width is basically I'm fixing it according to the page, and I'm telling controls, and I give a control, then it plays. Now, okay, it probably playing some Tamil songs. Sometimes, I can't use it in a video, so I'll just mute it. So I'll play that, for example, it plays. It is taken into that. I think it is close to Yamini school. Okay, I just forgot that. Okay, it is coming out of that. It is placed that. Okay, you place it. Okay, you can stop, you can play everything. That basically in your page, you are in building a video file to play it. Okay, and when you are playing a bigger file, it takes a time and try to adjust that all. These are Yamini school, right side is Oracle. Okay, That is how you do that. Okay, there's a one more thing you can do here. For example, this is my file, I'm playing it. Assume I want to take something from YouTube. Okay, like say that I want to take from YouTube. I'll tell you how to take that things and put it in your some way from YouTube. How do I put that? Okay, I create a division here. Sorry. Create a division here. Okay, now I create a say YouTube. Okay. Okay, I create one more division, that is okay. YouTube, I put that. Okay, I can put a H3. Okay, I didn't put that. That's fine. I put that here. YouTube, I put that. Okay. Now I go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Sorry, I cut that to this one. I go to YouTube. Okay, I go to one of our lessons. Whatever I put there, I'll take that. Go to the channel. Okay, this is from the other class, that Oracle applets class. I play that. Now here, if you go there, you can share something and say embedded. I do that. You hear there's something called share. Go to the share. There's something called embedded. Okay, I'm trying to, I'll mute that. That would be easier. Okay, I can't talk twice. Okay, okay. I'll go to the share. There is embedded. It'll give you a link. Okay, that is basically give you the iframe. All you have to do here is take iframe. Okay. Okay. Now if we come here, it is there. Okay. You just play it. Just play it. Master development job department. This is basically one of the lesson from that, like other lesson. So this is how you attach something from YouTube into YouTube or any other, like any other this one that they use as something called iframe. That is what they use it. It's the same thing. They say iframe, whatever the width it is giving, you can change the width, the height you can change it. You can say that what is the source is coming here. There's no border for that, and what are things is allows. Like give a different property to allow that. Stethoscope, picture in picture, you allow that. Encrypt, autoplay, basically like these all things is allowed. And it's also allow full screen. It means basically you can expand. If I remove the full screen, okay, probably it doesn't give me that. Okay, the full screen is gone. It is not there, so you cannot expand it. This you can look at. This is one the video is iframe is one of the things. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing also. That is basically how do you interpret audio. Okay, that is okay. Now we go for one more division. Okay. 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 H4 audio. Okay. Audio. How do you do audio? Okay. I'm coming here, division. Okay. Audio, there are many ways you can do that. So one of the ways I'm doing here is I have audio. Okay, audio. I'm not giving here the source here. I can give source here, but like that's one way I can. The other way I do that is basically I do here source. I give I'm giving a little differently. Source I'm defining differently. Okay. So now what I do here, going back to that, I also create a one page like electrical audio. I put one audio file from there. Okay, this is the reason I'm using that is this is basically like what is it called? You can play it freely like without any problem. What is the type? Generally, the type is basically audio and embed. AUDO audio. Sorry, the type is basically put AUDO embed. I think embed files. Okay, either one is allowed. Okay. Now can I see that I don't see anything? The reason is the control is not given here. I don't see anything here. The control is not given. So I can give a here. I can say here controls. Give a control. If you see that, now you get the audio player here. Now see play that. Okay. Now you can minimize that. Play that. Stop it. Okay. Okay. There's one more way we can do that. Basically, that's a script. Okay, I write a small script. I'll tell you how to do that. Like basically, I can have one more button here. See that? Like, or that can be either you can play with the button, or you can basically what you can do here is you can when the page automatically, like if you see that, like especially some of the like religious pages, if you go there, they slowly they play internally, they play the audio slowly automatic way. As soon as you enter the page, that basically they do that. There's an action called onload. So when you are onloading a page, they do that. Okay, here I'll give a button to see that how you like just like you don't want to. Either way, you can do that, because here basically you are telling audio control. You don't have to do that. You can remove the whole thing. Like I can remove the control here, so you don't see anything. Like ID, I give it my audio, my I give basically I give ID. You are not seeing anything here. Then add a button called okay button. Okay. Type is button. Okay. Then I see here. Okay, if you was that I already have the script, I have the script somewhere. I probably have having it here. I put the script here. I'll explain the script once after it is working. I will do in a resume note. Okay. Okay. This is basically JavaScript. Okay. Okay. My audio is there. Okay. I don't want alert here. Okay. Now say play music. Okay. Button text is music. Okay. Okay. Now what I do here, I'm telling here on click. Sorry, on click. What do you do here? We're playing the music here. Okay. Now when I sorry, there's something is wrong. It's not coming here. Okay, it's not here. Okay. Now what it is doing here is one have a volume. I'm not doing I can have a button. There's something called volume here. Okay, here. I'm making it 0.2. Okay, I'm coming here. See that automatically the volume will be low now. So I can have one more button or one more like say the range. I can control my volume. You see, one. Still I can control my volume. Okay, this is all I can do it programmatically. I'm just giving you that example of it. You can see that. Okay. So I can play the music and control that. So I can have one more button, or I can toggle this button to like basically play or pause it. I can do that too. That basically you need to write a smaller script. Okay. Okay. I'm just okay. That's all about HTML. Okay. Basically the